everybody, Mike again with Dirty Talk, and in this segment we are going to have Matt with New Line explain his vast line of deodorization chemicals. Matt?
Well, to get started, you can see we do a splash series and a new series.
Yes.
And one reason we offer so many fragrances is we don't really perfume a lot of our cleaning products because it's personal preference.
Right.
What one person likes for a fragrance, another person might not be able to stand. And I didn't want to put fragrances in products where somebody would open it up, smell it in your showroom, and never want to try and see how it cleans because they just didn't like
The smell.
that it was a vanilla and they wanted a cherry, or they wanted a cherry instead of a lemon. So we kind of went a little bit different. We do our splash series, and we have a few products here in the splash series, and these are honestly just perfumes. They are to give you, if you're using one of our cleaning solutions or anybody's, or you just want to give a little bit of fragrance to the room. That's what they're there for. So, you know, the best analogy for somebody is if an area stinks and you spray, for example, Spice Splash, you're going to smell our apple cinnamon spice for a while. But it's not an odor eliminator. So once the perfume wears away, the odor's coming back.
Odor's coming back.
So the other thing we did that's different than everybody else, we made our odor counteractant series, which is the new series. Now what we did here, these have fragrance in them, just like the Splash series.
Right.
They actually have the same load or percentage of fragrance. So it'll smell, this melon splash will smell the same strength as new melon. However, these, we use a really impressive patented odor eliminator. So that once you spray these, you know, if an area stunk, you spray this, yes, you're going to smell the perfume, but once the perfume's gone away, the odor should be dealt with.
Correct.
And the reason that we did something different here is where we offer the same fragrance in both products is so that when you take the average end user, they tend to, each company tends to grab to a certain fragrance they like.
Right.
And we'd see that where there's a guy they like, say they like the Fab, which is a lavender type fragrance. They like lavender. But then they'd hit an issue, have an odor, where they'd have to come in and get a true odor eliminator, and now they'd have something that smells totally different or clashes with what they're using all the time. This way to us, if you want to be, say, spice or melon or the fresh or citrus or any of these, you can come and get a corresponding odor eliminator in the same fragrance.
Very good. Okay.
Now, speaking of fragrance, this is our new side. This is an odor eliminator at the highest concentration that we make. However, this is opposite all of ours. This has no fragrance.
Right.
Again, like you and I were talking earlier, some people like one more than another.
Right.
This way, if they really want to go and just eliminate an odor, you can go with this product as it is. Or if you want, it will handle any of our fragrances because all of our fragrances have been tested against our odor eliminator. The one problem you might have with New Side is if you pick a different fragrance, say one that's not ours, and it might not be compatible. This will literally delete the fragrance out of your deodorizer. Because we've had that happen when we were first trying to look at different fragrances to add into our line, where our odor eliminator actually deletes the fragrance oil.
Well, I'm very glad that you actually made that product without a fragrance because I guess I'm probably different from most people. When I smell a fragrance, to me, I'm typically thinking you're trying to hide something.
Hide something. Yeah.
So I'm very glad that, you know, because I tell people, buy it. If it doesn't work, you're going to know right away because you don't have to worry about a masking agent.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for it to work. The odor will be right there with you. Now, while we're on deodorization, odor removal, we move back over, you know, this is our enzyme product.
Right.
Well, our living bacteria that creates the enzymes to get rid of. This works, yes, it has a perfume in it, but you actually have living biology in there to break down the source of the odors to keep going. That's what makes this an eliminator. Now, we also do use a small percentage of our odor eliminator in the new Zyme.
Oh, okay, nice.
Which it's easier, a lot easier to do, still keeps it cost effective because this is most of the time ready to use or at most diluted 1 to 3. Here we're at a product that some people are using at just very few ounces per gallon.
Right.
Now, the last type of product we have is pure citrus, which is a solvent. This is 100% solvent. This is actually refined out of an orange, so it is renewable.
Right.
It has an odor, though, that lingers longer than anything that we make by far. To the point of, after we've made this, no matter what we make in the plant for the next few days, you will walk in and you will smell pure citrus.
Yes.
So it's great, especially like in the apartment industry where you're going to clean and now you're going to close up that room and it might be days before somebody comes in. There's no air movement. You can get away with this as little as like a 1/4 ounce per gallon. Now it is a solvent, but it will emulsify slightly with water. You can dilute it before you use it with water.
Okay. What the great thing is, the reason why it's lingering is it won't evaporate because it's an oil.
Correct. It wants to stay for a long time. It has a low vapor pressure, so it wants to linger for a long, long time.
So Matt, can you please recap?
Recap. The Splash series, that is just that's a perfume. Just to change the odor, does nothing to the source. Then we move to the new series.
Right.
These actually eliminate odors.
Right.
Now we give you your own fragrance-free odor eliminator if you need to inject or do things that are around. Then we give you the bacterial eliminator.
Correct.
So that way it can break down a source. And then here, the longest lingering solvent that we have.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
Hope you guys enjoy that segment, and there'll be more to come. Thank you.